What's up everyone? My name is Miko and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, what we are going to do is we are going to create a register and log in application using Node JavaScript. All right. So basically, this is just going to be a pure basic way for us to understand the login process and how we can basically do the register, just like how we do it in CRUD operation that we need to create or upload some of the data, and you will be having a response coming from your command prompt regarding the data that's been inserted. And then once the data has been inserted, that's the data that you're going to be using in order for you to basically um, log in. All right. So we're going to have two parameters, the username and the password. But in order for us to basically move on to this, words or conversation, let's get started. All right. So the first thing that I need to do is to just simply go towards my window, and I'll be typing CMD. All right, or command prompt. So I'm just going to be pulling up my command prompt, nothing fancy about it. So I'm going to be typing CMD. So once I'm done typing in the CMD, the next thing that I need to do is to cd dot dot cd dot dot and then create another folder or a new folder which I'm going to name login.js. So yeah, actually that specific folder is currently existing in my end, so I'm going to be creating a new one, login.js 012. So yeah, so let's just cd towards the login.js 012. And once we are done, let's now type in npm init. All right, so this is our way of initializing our folder into a Node JavaScript application. All right, so basically, the materials that we're going to use in this is you need to have a visual code. All right, that will be an IDE that I will recommend for you to use. And basically, the next thing is you need to download your SHAMP, right? Because we're going to be using not the online database, just like how we do it before in the CRUD tutorials. So we're going to be using the localhost database, which is a MySQL database, by the way. So yep, I need you to open up your SHAMP and run or start your Apache, and your MySQL. All right, so since this is currently the prompt in my CMD, just hit on enter, 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 because you're going to be prompted with a bunch of questions, and I just need you to press enter. Unless otherwise you do have something in your Git repository, and you can just simply copy paste this within that specific repository, so you can also upload it over the GitHub. And keywords, author, actually just you need to type in my name, but it's not required. So basically, you can skip that part and just simply press enter, enter, enter up until you see this yes, and then enter. All right. So the next thing that I need to do is to install the dependencies, all right, that I'm going to be using within this project. So what are those dependencies that I'm going to be using within this project? So the first dependency is going to be npm I for install. You can use the install, but I'm just going to be using I because it's going to be the same effect. So I'm going to be using npm I and then express. Yes, I'm going to be using Node Express, and I'm going to be using express dot session. So I'm going to be using that, and also I'm going to be using MySQL, and I'm going to be using Pat. All right, Pat. Hindi yung mataba. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh, Joking jokes. So yeah, basically, once we're done installing all of the dependencies, we're going to just simply wait up until everything loads up perfectly and smoothly within our command prompt. And yeah, everything is running now. And just simply do code dot. Again, this specific keyword is for you opening up your Visual Studio. Again, if you don't have Visual Studio, which I certainly recommend for you to have before you start this video, well, basically you can use Sublime Text Editor. Actually, you can use a lot of different CLI, or actually not CLI, but you can use a lot of different IDEs, right, or integrated development environment. But this one you should need to go forward for Visual Code because it's more lightweight. So in order for you to pull up your Visual Code, you just need to type in code dot or space dot, and then your Visual Studio will prompt in your screen. And if ever that you're new to the Visual Studio, you're going to be asked if you need to trust the authors or not. But you just need to trust the authors because you're the author for this one. So you just need to trust yourself. You need to love yourself. So, anyways, guys, I'm just kidding. It's actually 1:51 a.m. and I'm still live and kicking because of the Monster Energy drink that I actually just drank a while ago. So, yep. I'm not actually a sponsor for Monster. So yeah, if ever that they wanted to have some sponsorship, yeah, thank you so much. And anyways, once you've pulled up the visual code, you just need to click the new file, all right, and then type in app.js, all right. So you need to type that one and press an enter, and you can see here that the app.js is currently available. All right, but in order for us to be more sure about the dependencies that we've installed, you can click on the package.json and you can see here that you've already installed Express, the session, MySQL, and then the path. All right, so you need to remember you are not going to run this project if you didn't install the dependencies that is mentioned within the package.json in my end. All right, so afterwards doing so, you just need to head towards your app.js. Just simply type in, all right, so we're going to be declaring those kinds of dependencies, right? So you need to type in const express is equals to require. You're going to be requiring that one, and you're going to be using express. Um, const app is equals to express. We're actually going to be using express. Repetitive. And then afterwards doing that, you just need to do path. All right, so const. All right, path, and then equals to. You need to require that the path. All right, and then afterwards doing so, you just need to do const MySQL, and then you just need to require as well the MySQL because that will be used in order for you to connect to your database, which is the MySQL database. Then afterwards doing so, you just need to do const, and then you need to do the session is equals to require, and then express dash session. All right, so those are just the things that you need to have in this particular dependency declaration. So the next thing that you need to do is to have an app.listen. All right. In this part or in this section, we're going to be routing our specific project into a port. All right. So I'm gonna be routing this one into port 3007. Normally, in other videos, you can see port 3000 or port 3001, but I'm going to be using port 3007. And then create a function in here. All right. Actually, you can do function in here and then just remove this. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be more focusing on the shortcuts. So you can solve.log, and then you know your app is listening. Right. So once you're done doing that, you just need to click towards terminal, open new terminal, and then the next thing that you need to do is to put in once everything is loaded up into your terminal node and then the given name of what you declare here. It's either config.js or index.js, app.js, anything, right? Login.js doesn't matter anyway. So regardless of your naming convention, in order for you to know if your current node is listening to the port that you've set, you need to type in node, right? And then app.js. Alright, so in my hand, I just simply type in node app.js and I'm simply waiting for the response coming from my terminal. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds and have patience with me. And yes, and we have now your app is currently listening. Alright, so the app is currently listening. So the next thing that we need to do is to do the app.use. Alright, so what's in this one? Alright, so we're going to be declaring here what will be the use of our specific application. So we're going to be declaring here session, all right? Because we're going to be using session, and we need to have a secret inside a session. And what are those secrets? You can never tell because it's a secret. Actually, it's a joke again. So pardon me again, guys. So we save, and then just set it to true, and then afterwards doing so, you just need to do save and then uninitialized, and then set this into true. Not sure, but true. All right. So afterwards doing so, you need to do app.use, and then the next thing that you need to do is to, after this one, you need to have app.use, and then express dot, yeah. express that. Um, well, basically, you can do express dot json and then app dot use. Express that URL encoded. Yes, you need to have that. And you need to set the extended into true. So yeah, you just need to have that. Again, I'm not going to be using the static one for this one because there's nothing fancy about what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be using CSS in this one, guys. So yeah, I'm not going to be using that one. And what I'm talking about is this one, app.use, and then you can just simply say here express.static, and then afterwards doing so you just need to do path dot join, and then afterwards path dot join just do dir name, and then just do the static, and whatever you wanted to put your styles in there you just need to put it, but I'm not going to be using this one, so let's just remove it or uncomment it. Afterwards doing that you just need to save and check if everything is running smoothly, so node app.js. Another fun fact is you can avoid doing this by simply doing npm I dash g node mon, and then dash dash save. You just need to save that one in order for you to avoid repetitively doing node space app.js, node space app.js. So yeah, that's one thing that you should need to consolidate as well. So again, going back to what I discussed a while ago, you need to have champ, right? So yeah, my champ is actually open. So in order for me to activate my champ and access my database, you just need to click on start for the Apache and then start for the MySQL up until everything where the indicator is turned green. That means to say that everything is working perfectly fine within your MySQL. Let's just wait for it. All right, have patience, guys. In programming, patience is the key. But sometimes it's not the key because your computer might be suffering from different problem, and you need to consult with the nearest doctor. Just kidding, guys. So yeah, everything is working perfectly fine on my sham. And what I just need to do is to hover towards, you know, hover towards this, and type in within the URL localhost. So I'm just gonna be typing localhost in this one, and just simply enter or hit the enter button, and then go to PHP my admin, and then let's just wait for a couple of seconds. It's loading. So yep. Okay, so let's not create a database. All right, let's create a database first before we create the table inside a database. So the database that I'm going to be using is going to be, or creating, or I'm going to be naming my database as, login today. So yeah, login today is going to be the name of my database. And for instance, I wanted to have users inside this one as a table, and what I just need to have is the name, and then after the name, actually I don't need the name. I just need the user ID, the first name, the username, and then the password. So I just need to have three columns within this one, and just go and then type in ID. Actually, this is just going to be my identifier, so I just simply type in ID and then set this to 11 because it doesn't need to have a lot of different length and values for this one to be declared. Just click on auto incremental because we're going to be incrementing values each and every time we pass a specific response coming from our Node.js towards the database. So yeah, it will simultaneously count the number of entries that we put it inside our database. So varchar or varchar 250, yeah, that will be my username, and then my password is going to be varchar 250. Just cancel that one. I didn't need to do that. Yeah, just simply change it. Um, Password would be varchar 250. Save. And then in order for us to be more sure about what I did, just simply go towards the structure, which I have right now, right? From the browser, just simply go towards the structure. And you can see here that my ID has been unique, username and pass. Actually, I need to have it as password, not pass. But either of you, if you're comfortable in just simply saying pass, doesn't matter anyway. It's just me declaring my table inside my database. So or parameters inside my table. So yeah, let's go towards the Visual Studio, and then we need to connect now. So app dot, actually it's not app dot, it's just cont database is equals to MySQL, because we're going to be using MySQL dot create connection. We're going to be creating the connection. All right, so my host is going to be localhost, and then my user, right, is going to be root, because I didn't configure it by default. And then password, I don't have a password either. Database, right, my database here is called login today, so I'm just going to be copy pasting this one, and then paste it. It's missing something, so it's logging today. And for some of you, if you're watching this and you're wondering how did I get these credentials by default, you just need to go towards your main page in PHP My Admin, head towards user account, and then you can see here the credentials available. All right, you can change this credential whenever you want it. But for me, I simply use the default one because this is just for tutorial purposes. So yeah, that's how we do it. And then the next thing that we need to do is to do or create here another file, which we're going to be calling login.html. So we're going to be using that one. And we're going to be creating here an HTML tag, which simply shows HTML, and we got a head, and we got here the title, and the title will be login now. And then we need to have a body inside our HTML tag. So we also need to have, form inside this one. So the form action is going to be authenticate. And then afterwards doing so, the next thing is going to be the method. All right, so the method will be post, because we're going to be posting a certain value from our HTML towards our app.js. So in order for us to do that, just simply type in label in here. Label. It's an automated man. So yeah, label, and then just simply type in your name, and then just simply put input, and then type, right, and then text. Name would be username, and then do forward slash, and then this one. And then let's do another one. Let's do label, and this one is for the password. And then do another one, another input, and then this one will be the password. All right, and the name is going to be password as well. All right, so let's do here button. All right, so the name of the button is going to be login. So in here, let's just simply say that this is going to be a type submit, and then the name is going to be submit. All right. So again, once you're done doing this, you just need to head towards your app.js, and let's now make it connected towards our login.html. So in order for us to do that, just simply type in app.get, and then this one, and a forward slash, and we need to have a request and a response. Again, you can actually do a function in here as well. But I'm not going to be doing that. Let's just simply focus on the shortcuts. So let's just simply do equals, and then this one. Actually, don't need that. And then afterwards, doing those, just simply do rest.send file, and then in here do path dot join, and then just simply do directory name, and the next thing is going to be login dot html. So you need to have this and save this, and then just simply do node app .js first to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So let's go towards localhost. Okay, localhost. I actually used 3007. So yep, so everything is running perfectly fine right now. So in order for us to test if it's again running perfectly fine, just like how I confidently say it, so let's just do app.post in here, and then um, if you're going to go towards the login of HTML, I said here authentication as the redirection, any value that I need or I actually put in here to be redirected into the authentication. So I need to, declare that as well in my app.post, which I'm going to be passing what I did in here towards here. All right. So again, just like how I did it with app.get, I need to have the request and then the response, and then simply create a function in there. And then what you need to do is to let, okay, username is equals to username, or actually not that one, rec dot body dot username, let password is equals to rec dot body dot password. And then in here, the next thing that you need to do is to create an if and else statement. So an if statement first, followed by the else statement, which is a conditional statement. All right. So if username and password is not empty, you need to say that you're actually been satisfactory fulfilled. Satisfactory fulfilled. What was that word? So yeah. So afterwards doing that, the next thing that you need to do is to create a connection or query that allows us to, check if there is a match between the username and the password that I simply input. So in order for me to do that, just simply type in here database dot query. Alright, so select asterisk from, again, I'm going to be selecting from um, login today. So I just need to go towards login today. Yeah, here you go. And then I need to go to users. So I need to select from users, right? Where username is equals to, blank and or question mark, and password is equals to the question mark. And then notice that you don't need to interchange the value that you declared here. You need to, follow it. So for example, you have your username. You need to declare first in here the username, all right, followed by the password. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to create an error, a result, right? So do that, and the next thing is going to be if there is an error, then we're going to be throwing an error. If result or actually result dot length, all right, is greater than zero, meaning to say that by checking the username and the password, there is a one, all right, a unique identifier which is one. Getting those username and password match, then it's going to be greater than zero. Then let's create here res dot, actually it's not res dot send. Let's just simply create here, yeah, let's do res dot send first. Um, entered valid or validated. Let's just say validated for now. Else, res dot send wrong username slash password combination. So just do that, and then in here, let's just do in here, let's dot end, right? Yeah, afterwards doing that in here, let's just do rest dot send. You still didn't input anything, but you clicked submit. And then just do rest dot end here. Yep. So we're good to go. All right. So yeah, and actually, in order for us to test this one, we can do in here. All right. So in order for us to test this one, we just need to read node app.js in our terminal. and go here, and then we're going to be inserting something like, for instance, ID1, username is going to be 210.1.3, and then the password will be password. All right. So let's try to refresh this one, and then say unique with 10.1.2.1.3, and then the password is going to be the password. If I log in, it says validated. All right. So if I actually didn't log in, like for instance, I'd say here, Nico 10.1.1.3, which is actually my username in here. Let's just go towards the browse. Nico 10.1.1.3, but the password that I put here is, for instance, admin. Then it just shows here username and password combination as well, which is here. All right. So what if I didn't put anything and I click submit? All right. Let's head towards back this one. Click something and submitted. You still didn't input anything, but you click submit. So this is the response for that one. All right. So now we're done doing that. So the next thing that we need to do is to actually comment this one out. All right. And then the next thing is going to be rec or request dot session and then dot log in. All right, we need to do that. Is equals to true. All right. So rec dot session dot username is equals to username because we're going to be getting the username. And then afterwards doing that, let's just do rest dot send. All right, or rest dot redirect. Or just do redirect towards home. So yeah, that's how you do it. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating here what we declared in the redirect, which is home, which we're going to do app.get, and then do home, and then let's just do a function, and let's response. All right, and then let's do in here if statement, um, followed by the else statement. So if rec dot session dot log in. All right, so let's do rest dot send. All right, so hi, and then let's do plus sign, and then let's say here rec dot session dot username. You notice that whatever you put in here shall be used to be declared in here. Whatever has been fetched in the query will be reflected in here. And whatever has been redirected, once it goes here, all right, in this home section, then it will be passed over here. All right, so this is why we have rec username in here and rec username in here. So yeah, and then after that, let's just say here, afterwards we didn't, let's not send in here, let's just say, please log in. And then in this one, let's just do rest.m. All right, so let's again refresh this one in app.js. And let's try to do it again. All right, so in here, a no end. Let's do node app.js. Alrighty, so let's try to go back. And then in here, for instance, I type in Rachel 10 and the password is going to be the password. I log in. So hi, Nico 10 So yep, in here, once everything is good, then you're going to be redirected with the home, which I have here as a route, and then I will be reflecting in here the username for the session, which is going to be Nico 10 the same thing that I declared in here. So that's how you do a simple way for you to log in and then yeah, log in. So how do you do register? All right. So in order for us to do that, let's create in here a registration. All right. So for instance, in this one, all right, in login.html, let's create here an a tag, an href. Let's just do slash, and then let's do register, and then a let's simply say here register, right? And then head towards your app.js, and you need to go towards in here, and then app.get in here, say register, and do what you did previously on the app.get for the login. So request and response towards the function, and then say rest.send file, which has the path, and then their name, and then this one, let's just say this will be register.html. So let's just do forward slash before the register, and we're good to go. Actually, we're not still good to go because you need to copy paste this and create a new here, which is going to be register.html. You paste this one, then you need to log in and change it to register, and just simply click into register. And in here, instead of authentication, let's just say here registration, right? So let's again head towards the app.js, and once everything is good, we just need to type in here app.post, and then what we declared in here in the register, um, let's just say registration. So head towards the app.js, and then do request and response again, and then let or const, because it's changing. So it's gonna be dynamic. So const username, um, rec.body.username, and then const password is equals to rec.body.password. Then afterwards doing that, so let's create a query as well. So database.query. Alright, so a while ago we did select. Right now we're going to insert something. So let's say insert into, users, and then the value of the username, and then the value of the password, and then let's simply say here values, and then let's just simply do question mark and question mark, and then do this, and then username, and then password, and then in here error, and then the result. So see that. And then in here, let's just say rest.send data inserted success. So yeah, that's how we do it. And then let's head towards to register.html and just simply change this into forward slash, because if you wanted to head towards the login once more, then you can just simply do that. And then do node app.js, so you can start doing in here. If you refresh, you can see here the register. So if I click on the register, I can see here that instead of login, then if I click on register, it's registered now in here. So I'm going to be typing, for example, Abby, and then the password is going to be 101213. And then if I click on register, then I see here database inserted success. And if I refresh my database, then I have here Abby 101213. Now let's try to log in. Like if I log in right now in here pertaining to Abby, and then it's 101213, and if I click on login, I say Abby. So that's how you basically do a simple login and register using no JavaScript. I hope that you've learned something within this tutorial, and you have a nice day. God bless everyone. Peace out. Bye for now.